Wine was on the school's rooftop, which was currently a restricted area. No student was allowed there, but she sometimes sneaked in when she wanted some time alone for herself. She was sitting against the wall, looking at the view, when she heard footsteps. She thought she got caught, but thankfully it was her only friend, her best friend, Jungkook. He came and sat beside her as well. He was wearing a basketball cap. Lucky him, safe from the extreme sunlight. Jungkook, I was looking for you. Ryan, you always know where to find me. He smiled and looked ahead as well. He knew something was wrong. Ryan was usually a cheerful girl. Jungkook, you know what happened today? He shifted in his position, completely turning towards her. And so did she. Jungkook, someone gave me an actual diamond ring. He chuckled, taking it out of his pocket. He was a popular guy. He was gifted with a lot of things almost every day, no matter how many times he rejected to them. Instead of returning them back, which was a waste of time because gifts keep coming, he would now give them away to orphanages, to the kids who needs them the most. But diamond ring had to be the most expensive and craziest of all. Wine, how do you know it's diamond? She took a look, then returned it to him. Jungkook, I have seen a lot. I can tell. He also belonged to a wealthy family. Jungkook, someone stole their mom's ring and probably getting in trouble. Wine, there is something wrong about their obsession over you. He held her hand when she looked away. Her eyes looked so unfocused and expression so dull. Jungkook, did you skip your class? Wine, I just didn't want to take it. Jungkook, alright, come on then. He stood up, dragging her along him. When she resisted, he chuckled and wrapped his whole arm around her. No plans of letting her escape this time. Jungkook, you will love it. Trust me. Wine, if I don't, I'll pull out all of your hair. He didn't stop till he forced her in his car and drove off. Jungkook, my hair are really dear to me, and I know how to save them. She smiled and shook her head. He played some songs and forced her to sing along him. As long as he was around, she could never stay upset. He would do everything he could to make up her mood, and she did the same if there was something troubling him. She resisted, but she finally let go and started to sing along while crazily moving along. Both of them laughed before Junko stopped the car in front of an arcade. He ran a hand through his hair and she smirked. Wine, nothing's happening to your heartthrob reputation, mister. She pulled out his hair, messing them completely, before running out of the car. Jungkook, I get my hands on you and you are dead. She laughed, ignoring him, and ran inside, while he got down the car, taking his time. He locked it behind him, slipping his hands in his pocket, and walked after her. Most of the time, they played games together. The rest of the time, he stood behind her and watched her happily playing games while yelling and jumping. She almost forgot about whatever was disturbing her as she dragged him around the whole arcade, asking for more games. He let her do everything she wanted until she was exhausted. Jungkook had his arm around her waist now. It made her feel tickles and a lot other things, but she tried her best to ignore them. Jungkook, we are going back now. One, I want that one again. She went, but he dragged her out, putting her in the car, and got in as well. Jungkook, you played it 5 times already. She sulked, but Jungkook was glad she was distracted enough to remember whatever was disturbing her. He drove back to their hostel and got inside the room they both shared. It was a huge room with 2 beds, study table for both, the cushion set up for every time they wanted to watch a movie, and a huge LED. While most of the things were not allowed, but since Jungkook was from a wealthy family, he had his ways to get it adjusted. When he came out of a shower, he saw her in her bed, staring at the closed book, and sighed. Jungkook, Ryan, he called her, taking a seat in front of her. She snapped out and blinked twice before looking at him. Were there tears in her eyes? Jungkook, what is going on? You need to tell me. Ryan, nothing is going on, Jungkook. Jungkook, now you will lie to me? Ryan, it's not like that. It's complicated, okay? You can't know. Jungkook frowned and got quiet for a moment before slipping close to her. Whatever it was that was making her hesitate from him, he needed to end it right there before it grows. Jungkook, so what happens if I know? Ryan, I just don't know how you will react. So, how about a movie? She got off the bed, but Jungkook grabbed her wrist and made her sit back again. She gulped when he held both of her hands, slipping close to her. Her toes curling and heartbeat racing. There was something wrong with her nowadays, and she knew exactly what was wrong. His eyes bored into her, and she looked down. Jungkook, a kiss for a secret? Widening eyes, she looked up at him, and her heart almost dropped at that. He moved even closer to her, till her breath was stuck in her throat. Wine, so is it the kiss or the secret first? Jungkook traced his knuckles against her jaw, sliding them down to her chin, holding it between her fingers. His other hand brushed through her hair, sliding them off her shoulders. Before she knew, his lips were on hers, and it's not like they have ever done something like this before. It was new, yet so beautiful. When she returned the favor, he deepened it and held her close to him. Her eyes fluttered shut, and hands fisted his shirt. It was something she never wanted to pull back from. He had the ability to take her to a completely different place, out of this universe, so beautiful and desiring. When the two pulled back, she kept holding his shirt tightly, but her head hung low. She didn't know how to respond now that she was finally out of that beautiful bubble and back into reality. Jungkook held her cheeks, making her look up, and caressed them before asking, Jungkook, what about my reward now? It took her a few moments, but he waited patiently. He was usually the patient one between the two. He was the caring one. Every time she was around him, she never had to worry about anything. Wine, I like you, she whispered, but knew she needed to say it out loud. It was now or never. Wine, I like you, Jungkook. I'm afraid I can't keep the things like they were anymore. I'm trying, but it's not working. Wine, everything was good, but now every time you're near me, it's different. I want to hold you, but differently. I want to spend time with you, but differently. I'm scared. Wine, I'm scared it will come between us, and I can't lose you. I'm so scared, Jungkook. Jungkook, look at me. It won't come between us. You have nothing to be scared of. Wine, no. No, you don't understand. Jungkook, I like you too. He said, cutting her off, not as a friend, but as a woman. She stopped. The confession stole the daylight out of her. Every fear, every hesitation, every little thing she was scared of slowly disappeared when he pulled her to him and kissed her again. This time she let go of herself when she kissed him back. The little session turned into quite a lot of minutes until both were laughing and giggling against each other. Jungkook, that's why you must tell me next time whatever is playing in your mighty brain. Ryan, yeah, I'm never doing this again. It was torture. He smiled and laid down, pulling her against him, and played the movie she wanted to watch. That's how they spent their night, watching the movie and sleeping in each other's embrace.